Kazakhstan shuts internet as government offices burn in protests.
Here's a summary of the article.
January 5, 2022, 6:49 a.m. Eastern Time, Moscow. Thousands of people returned to the streets across Kazakhstan on Wednesday for a fourth straight day of demonstrations driven by outrage over surging gas prices, in the biggest wave of protests to sweep the oil-rich country for decades. Protesters stormed government buildings and captured police vehicles despite a strict state of emergency and government attempts to concede to their demands, including by dismissing the cabinet. Anger has been building since Sunday, when Kazakhs began protesting after the government lifted price caps for liquefied petroleum gas, frequently referred to by its initials, LPG, and the cost of the fuel doubled. In spite of the government's attempts to quell the protests, footage posted online on Wednesday showed thousands of people storming the main government building in Almaty. News services reported renewed clashes between protesters and the police, who used stun grenades and tear gas to quell the crowd. According to the Almaty police, more than 500 civilians were beaten and protesters burned 120 cars, including 33 police vehicles, and damaged about 400 businesses. In Aktau, a city on the Caspian Sea which serves as the country's main oil and gas processing hub, protesters stormed the Akimat, the local government building.
This post received a score of 5,900, with an upvote ratio of 98%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Private jets leaving Almaty, always a sign when the rich and powerful skedaddle. Edit. Airport now closed for business. Edit 2. Almaty International Airport has been seized by rioters, according to reports.
Essentially now it's evolved from LNG price protest to a full-on hang Tokayev and friends from lampposts type of thing. Interesting times.
It's a revolution. What they will do with it is up to them. One thing for sure is that it will give a headache to Russia.
It's the glorious return of the Kazakh Socialist Republic. They will invade and annex the entirety of the former Soviet Union and its satellite nations.
Someone unchecked historical focuses at the start of this HOI4 game.
Funnily enough, I turned off historical focuses playing the new No Step Back DLC and Kazakhstan broke away.
Those crazy bastards. Seems to be a lot of surrenders by police and guard going on. In fact, they are joining the protesters.
I've read they've seen protesters with rifles and machine guns. I'd be scared and probably change sides too if I was in their position. Not sure much of the police, but there is mandatory conscription for the military in Kazakhstan, probably people realizing they aren't interested in dying fighting a cause they may actually support. Regardless though, military and police forces changing signs is never a good sign for the status quo when it comes to revolution.
In fact, that is the only way a revolution works. You flip enough of the military to beat the rest of it.
But you can't fight jets and tanks with an AR-15, right?
You can choke a jet pilot's wife with bare hands.
I live by an airbase and do so every Friday. Have to say, the wine gets expensive after a while. Holy shit skull.
I have friends living there and they posted normal stuff on FB this weekend. I don't know what is going on now.
They re-enabled the internet approximately 40 minutes ago. The whole thing started pretty suddenly, about 1 to 2 days ago. I myself was surprised by how fast shit went down.
Thank you for update. I will reach out. Don't want to put any details here just in case.
This works to view the article.
Thank you, good person of the internet.
My father is stuck here. I am a Canadian citizen and so is he. What should I do in this situation?
Try to contact Canadian Embassy.
Not much quality discussion here. 1. What is the root cause of this? What was the final straw, tipping point? 2. I guess no more Soyuz supply missions to the ISS from here.
Government at some point resigned, during the protests, but it was always Nazarbayev, ex-president, now leader of the nation, perhaps to some degree with Tokayev who hold power. While Nazarbayev has given up his Chairman of Security Council title, he still has his forever title of Leader of the Nation, so it doesn't seem like anything has changed much. Tokayev is his big ally, promising harsh response to the protests. Below is a bit reduced post about some of it from other thread following the protests, latest English articles about the protests, as translated from some of the Instagram news, also Twitter feed which shows burning vehicles, buildings, some soldiers joining the protesters, some being taken by protesters, Instagram news accounts.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.